Dubai's population has increased by about 600% in the previous 30 years, fueled by the riches that come with being a major oil hub. There's the sail like Burj Al Arab, gleaming, massive shopping complexes, and the gorgeous, tree-shaped Palm Jumeirah Island. The futuristic Burj Khalifa, a symbol of the metropolis and the world's tallest building, is perhaps the most famous sight of all. Join us today as we take a look at how the Burj Khalifa was constructed. The building of the Burj Khalifa, like life in Dubai in general, was quick, expensive, and groundbreaking. From breaking ground to breaking Taiwanese building Taipei 101's previous record, the construction of the world's tallest building took only 1,325 days, beginning with excavation in January 2004. The official launch ceremony took place in January 2010, so the final opening took a little longer. The expense came to about $1.5 billion, but that was never a huge concern because much of the space inside the Burj Khalifa had been sold off-plan before building began. Intended as a centerpiece of the metropolis, the proposal for the Burj Khalifa started off with a competition between many of the world's top designers, which was finally won by a tower structure specialist, Skidmore Architects, in Chicago. The majority of the challenges in the construction are inherently related to height. How to develop a structure that can self-support to that level, resist the weather, and also how to physically carry the essential materials to the high-level construction sites. While it may not be clear to the casual observer, the design is inspired by the Haymanok Ali's desert flower in abstract form. The tower's three main parts are built around a central core, with the floor space reducing as it rises to ensure natural stability. There is also a lot of window space in this arrangement. In reality, aerodynamics is critical to the bird's ability to survive storms, which it does without the momentum dissipation damper mechanism employed in Taipei 101. The inconsistency of the building's cross-section implies that the forces pushed onto it by a storm are not evenly distributed across its height. The gradual narrowing of the floors was extensively tested by computer as well as wind tunnels, resulting in an elegant final shape that not only stands out as a landmark, but also has a real functional design aimed at maintaining stability at such a height from the ground. The building procedure was massive. The building took an estimated 22 million man-hours to complete, comprising people from 100 different countries and over 12,000 different staff members in all. Cranes were an unusual conversation point during construction. There were 3 of them, working around the clock and big enough to lift goods all the way up to the 156th story of the structure, a height of more than 700 meters. To bring the cranes back down, very cautious plans, such as their bulk and scale, had to be set in place. Pumping concrete high up the building's core, which needed 200 bars of pressure, was also an engineering achievement never before accomplished. To put the amount of materials into perspective, simply attaching the external cladding to the structure required the work of around 300 engineers in addition to the construction crew, and broke multiple records in the process. The Burj utilizes 3 primary sky floors that serve as hubs for the main elevators, with smaller local elevators feeding additional levels from these centers. There is no single elevator that runs from top to bottom, but the central service elevator rises nearly 500 meters, making it the highest single elevator rise in the world, once again surpassing Taipei 101, the former world's tallest skyscraper. The Burj Khalifa has a whopping 57 elevators in all. The famous spire, a telescoping structure made of approximately 4,000 tons of structural steel, stands at the very top of the Burj Khalifa. This 200-meter construction was erected within the constraints of the tower and then hydraulically lifted to its final place. The building's continued operation is also complex. A double-sized story, for example, offers space for the equipment required to assure the tower's fundamental functionality. Each operations floor serves the needs of the 15 or so stories above and below it. These levels house electrical substations, water tanks, pumps, and air handling systems, with water pumping posing a special challenge due to both height and the humid desert environment. Surprisingly, plans to surpass the Burj are already in the works. India is already talking tentatively about a bigger 110-story skyscraper in bustling Mumbai, and South Korea is also considering a rival. The Burj, on the other hand, is iconic, a symbol of Dubai's riches and technological prowess. Do you believe it was worthwhile? Tell us in the comments section below. Like this video and subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this. We'll see you in the next video.